Ooh, yeah! Woo! We don't! Ooh, yeah! Yeah, baby! How's that for an entrance? I got this little Christmas gift for myself today. Went shopping at this. So. Hi again, Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for this Monday, December the 10th, 2018, from San Diego, California, the home of the Booyaka Booyaka 619, Rey Mysterio, and the final wall before TLC. Before I address that, I want to say quick words about two wrestling deaths that happened over the week last week. The passing of both Larry the Axe Hennig, of course, the father of Kurt Hennig, and the grandfather of Curtis Axel. Famous tag team wrestler, mostly based out of Minnesota in the AWA. He did team up with his son and became a tag champ with him. Big influence on Kurt and his grandson, Curtis, and also the death of the Dynamite Kid. Both 2 days in a row. Dynamite Kid died on Wednesday, and Larry the Axe died on Thursday. Of course, Dynamite Kid, known as the tag team partner of Davey Boy Smith, known as the British Bulldog, started in the Stampede Wrestling territory of Stu Hart, and even, I think, married one of them. I know Davey Boy did. But Dynamite Kid's dynamic style influenced a lot of people, including Rey Mysterio, but more importantly, inspired Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho. Despite Tom, the guy who played Dynamite Kid's drug issues and demons that led him to deteriorate up until his death last Wednesday on his 60th birthday, you cannot deny the influence he had on several young wrestlers. So I have to say my little piece about those two. Sad situation. You know, losing those two, especially after losing George H.W. Bush, but these are more sad than losing a stupid ex-president that did bad things. No political talk. It's interesting that tonight, when it was one of the worst Monday Night Footballs in recent memory, because it was a shitty-ass game, Raw had its best show in weeks. It was actually a good Raw tonight. Notice they didn't say, like, Raw is garbage, or Raw is we match a Balloons. Yeah, there was some rematches, but it didn't get dragged down by him. Yes, there was still some heel things, especially Corbin still kind of ruled and had some dominance, but not as bad as previous weeks. And they had to amp up the ratings game because they gave us a stipulation match tonight, heading towards tables, ladders, and chairs. We got a TLC match for our main event tonight. And we had some interesting things happen. The edge was decent for the most part. But as a go-home show for TLC, it needed to be this way. Especially after the last couple of lackluster weeks. Let's get to how we got to the TLC match tonight. Seth Rollins would open up the show. We thought he was going to address Dean Ambrose again and go through the same kind of shit we'd seen the last couple of weeks when it comes to their little lackluster of a build. Like, the heel thing of Ambrose was good until the whole gas mask, Darth Bane Vader thing happened last week. But instead of addressing Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins talked about Baron Corbin. You see by my subtitle, Seth speaks the truth. I don't care if he wrote it himself or he was told what to say. He spoke the goddamn truth. He spoke to Corbin like he would to Vince. Basically, kind of like an apology for the last couple weeks, saying, Corbin, under your rule, Raw has sucked. You've seen ratings up to an all-time low. The fans don't care. You see great tag teams, the best talent in the world get demoted like this, to give you such shitty material to work with. The Revival getting buried every week in Lucha House Rule Party matches. What's a Lucha House Party War? It's spoiler alert. Thank God we didn't see Ego over tonight. Well, thank God we didn't see Revival in another stupid match like that. Hopefully, this is a wake-up call. What Rollins said should be a wake-up call. Talk about the demotion of the Revival. Talk about urination jokes. About AOPP. Glad that was spoken about. You know what I mean? I love it. You know, it also addressed the fact that Brock Lesnar's the champion. Thanks to Corbin handing it to him, screwing Braun Strowman out of the title at Crown Jewel. Saying, where the hell is Brock Lesnar? He only shows up when he wants to. Or he never fucking shows up. And Rollins even gave us the math saying that Lesnar hasn't had a singles match on Raw since 2002. No, the supposed rematch against Seth Rollins tonight after WrestleMania 31 doesn't count. Because the match never really happened because Seth Rollins pussied out of that match. And that's probably why he didn't mention it, because he's in it. And he looked like a pussy in that. And Lesnar destroyed everybody, including Michael Cole. So that doesn't count because that wasn't a proper match. Anywho, Corbin's like, well, I took Strowman out of the equation. And this Sunday, I'm going to be the permanent GM by beating Strowman by forfeit in this supposed TLC match they're supposed to have. Now, there was rumors about some changes being made to the card tonight. There wasn't any changes, spoiler alert. Maybe a last-minute change. But we'll see if Strowman eventually shows up or not. Only do a last-minute change to another match or something. But till then, this match is still on, and Corbin needs to lose. Somehow, somewhere. We don't need another few weeks from him as heel GM. It's killing Raw. And Seth spoke the truth here. Seth's like, I don't want to wait till TLC to beat somebody up. I want to beat you up tonight. In a TLC match. We had tables, ladders, and chairs spread around the entire ringside area. So one's like, hey, weapons are here. Let's do it, man. And Corbin denied it at first. But after Rollins called him coward a billion times, kind of like the same way that the old Daniel Bryan got Miz into a rematch by calling him coward a billion times. I like the new Daniel Bryan, by the way. I love it. A little preachy, but I love it. It's kind of better than the Ambrose's heel turn for the most part. Especially the whole gas mask thing. Anyway, after that little coaxing, Corbin did eventually say, all right, Rollins, you get your TLC match tonight against me. But your Intercontinental Championship will be on the line. So we'll see how that match turns out a little bit later on. But let's begin our action with, we go from that, something new and fresh to something we've seen already. Another 3-on-2 handicap match. We thought that they lost last week. We saw the match between Bobby Roode and Drake Maverick turn into a 3-on-2 handicap match. And thank God we didn't see Corbin bend the rules a little bit again tonight, using his power struggle to change the rules mid-match. None of that happened here. Instead of changing it from the fly to a 3-on-2, and Roode and Gable lost that match to AOP and Drake Maverick, losing an opportunity to another tag team title match, they still got another shot anyway. Even with losing, they still got rewarded. Because we got another 3-on-2 match. This time, like I said, with the tag belts on the line. With Gable and Roode against AOP and Drake Maverick. Now, it was a beatdown match from the get-go. Gable was, of course, destroyed by AOP, and Drake just stood there and did nothing for the most part. But after Gable got the hot tag to Roode came in like House of Fire. But he and Gable got taken out quickly with some double team moves from the AOP. And Roode was down, and just like last week, Drake wanted the pin. He did pin on Roode following the beatdown when it was made a 3-on-2 handicap match last week. So he wanted the glory yet again. Gable was out, and he wanted to pin Roode again. Because Roode was out too. And I was like, okay, something's going to happen here. Like a roll-up or something. As Drake was doing the glorious pose, mocking Roode. He pinned Roode, but quickly, Roode turned around into a roll-up and a 1-2. Wow. 3. Gable and Roode are your new tag team champions. Kind of a great way to start Raw. You know, fresh and exciting. But before anyone says, oh, they buried AOP, oh, they buried him. Well, guess what? This could actually be a good thing for him. I'm a Drake Maverick guy. I love Rockstar Spud. I love him on 205 Live. I love him as a general manager there. I thought, hey, when he came in as the manager for AOP, I thought, okay, it's different. It's not Paul Ellering. But guess what? At least I have a mouthpiece. You know what I mean? It's weird to see him in this situation, but hey, they got to work with it. He did help them win the titles, but he also helped them lose them. So that's a good thing about AOP losing, is that they have a reason to dump Drake Maverick. Now he's just bringing them down with the pee jokes, the urination jokes, and all that shit after Survivor Series, making AOP look like a joke in less than a week. And after they just won the Raw Tag Belts. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a short title reign. But guess what? They'll be better for this loss because hopefully this will give him ammunition to fire Drake Maverick. and let him go back to being on 205 Live, where he does a good job doing GM work. Which, by the way, he announced that it'll be Cedric Alexander against Buddy Murphy, which should be a ladder match, by the way, in TLC this Sunday. As of right now, it is the main pay-per-view. They're not going to do like they did and push it to the pre-show. I'm happy that finally the Cruiserweight matches get to be on the goddamn main show. Not just the freaking pre-show. Because they showed us last month at Survivor Series what they can do when they're on the main card of a pay-per-view for once. When it was Buddy Murphy against Mustafa Ali, which was a great match. Hopefully to give them a little bit more time in this one. And I wish it was a ladder match. But hey, they still don't give a fuck about 205 Live. But at least, hey, they give somewhat of a fuck to put them on the main card and still don't just stick them on the damn pre-show. Like with Natalya and Ruby Riott. Speaking of Natalya and Ruby Riott, of course, there'll be a tables match. I should have seen that coming. That was made last week following the segment involving the Riott Squad putting Natalya through a table. So Natalya came out to address Ruby Riott in about the tables match this Sunday, being kind of poignant and emotional. Talk about how Ruby Riott kind of made this personal by using her dad's glasses and whipping him. Now, I'll get to the exploding point and my thoughts about this whole storyline when we get to the end of the segment. So as Danny was saying, I dedicate my match to a man that put me in this business, kind of emotional, interesting little, cheesy little, typical sad promo, but still kind of executed well by Danny. He was saying she dedicated a match to Jim the Anvil Neidhart, to where she kind of dedicated a Dynamite Kid. Anyway, Ruby Riott came out after that with the Riott Squad bringing on a table. And I like Ruby's promo here. She's a good promo girl. Even though, yes, it's sad and you can't take the Riott Squad seriously when you lose every major feud. Hey, she's like the female Bray Wyatt. Does pretty well and then gets punked out at the end game of a storyline. The end game of a feud. But hopefully, if Natalya doesn't have to get pinned, hopefully Ruby will get the win here. Because she can make Natalya go through a table, don't have to get pinned here. So this table got brought out with its cover. And then like Ruby's like, oh, Natty's crying again. Who cares? You spoofed everything. And then she revealed this table with a picture of Jim the Anvil Neidhart on it. Saying, I'm going to put you, Daddy, through this table. And after that, I know you and your father were very close. But after this, you'll be closer than ever. Now, I know some people will be like, oh, they're exploding Jim Neidhart. Hey, they're doing the same thing with Roman Reigns and his illness. You're talking to the same company that exploited the hell out of Eddie Guerrero's death. And even exploited Reed Flair's death in a storyline involving Charlotte Flair and Paige a few years back. But if Natty was okay with this, she probably was okay with putting this in storyline, because they probably wouldn't do this without her knowing it. They won't just say, oh, here's Jim Neidhart on the table, you're not knowing it, I don't think they would do that without any previous knowledge or at least acknowledgement from Natty before this segment took place. So, I kind of like this thing, yes, it's kind of exploited, but hey, it's kind of classically done. Not as bad and over the top as they did the Eddie Guerrero's death a few years back. But hey, to get heat on Ruby. That's the important thing. Ruby needs heat. And I love Ruby, but she still loses all of her matches in the end game of a feud, like I mentioned. So now we're on to our next matchup. Rematch. We did get a couple rematches here, but at least hey, wasn't as bad as last week or the week before. We had Dolph Ziggler against Drew McIntyre again, of course, stemming from the shock win of Dolph Ziggler with a little help from Finn Balor, helping Drew McIntyre lose. Now, we did not have that factor tonight. Apparently, Finn Balor got taken off the South American tour. He wrestled one show off the South American tour, got sent home. And he will not make it. He didn't make it to Raw. And unfortunately, I'll tell you some more bad news about Finn in just a little bit. Prayerfully, Balor will be scheduled. He is still scheduled to face Drew this Sunday. So he still aims to be at TLC. Hopefully, this injury or illness or whatever that took him out of the cards in South America and also off of Raw tonight, will not be too serious. So Drew delivered a great little promo saying that Ziggler got away with the win because of little Finn Balor. But I'm the man of Raw now. I don't need Finn Or should I say that's what Ziggler did, actually. Ziggler said that. Saying, I'm not the good guy or the bad guy here. He's kind of a traitor. But then, like I said, Drew had a promo after that, a little video promo from Dolph, saying that, I'm ready to beat up on Ziggler again. He's got no help this time. Their match was good. For the most part. Kind of better than last week. There was a great spot when Drew McIntyre did like a side suplex or an air raid crash. That's the finisher of Tommaso Ciampa. I did an air raid crash up the top rope. That was awesome. They brought him on the outside a bit. Dog got beat up on the outside, and then Drew McIntyre almost got counted out by being taken out to the outside. And after that, Drew did try to get back in and did break the counts. And Dolph did try to get back up and try to do a super kick, but he fell back down again. McIntyre was going for something, and then miraculously Ziggler got back up again and did deliver an out of nowhere zigzag, but McIntyre kicked out of that. And then he came back with a Claymore and the 1-2-3 victory for McIntyre. 50-50 booking. Ziggler won last week. McIntyre got his heat back tonight, and he beat up on Ziggler on the outside. He even almost powerbombed him on the steel steps, but all the officials and referees stopped him. But they didn't stop him from delivering a Claymore to McIntyre's former friend Ziggler against the wall LED barricade screen. The apron screen. He did do that eventually. Delivering a big message to Balor if he ends up making it to TLC. I would say we place Balor with Ziggler, but we already see these two wrestle 2 weeks in a row. So, that's a better feud because at least they have some sort of conflict. You know what I mean? Because they're former best friends, not just, Finn hates Corbin. Corbin's got a crony. McIntyre beat up the crony. That's a match with TLC. So, yeah. The bill's not the best for their match, but it'll still be a good match, though, because you have two good workers in there. That's if Balor makes it. But we'll see if there is any changes leading towards the pay-per-view. But let me talk about the big change. Thanks to this so-called Balor injury, we have ourselves the 1 billionth injury change in the second Mixed Match Challenge. Man, this Mixed Match Challenge second season is not living up to... I love Season 1. Season 2 is entertaining, but there have been so many injury and or storyline replacements. Kevin Owens got taken out. Alexa Bliss got taken out. Braun Strowman got taken out. AJ Styles went out. And now, we got Finn Balor out. We have Apollo Crews stepping in. Good opportunity for him. And it kind of makes sense because Apollo Crews kind of helped out Finn Balor last week in his match against Jinder Mahal. So it's kind of payback from that. But we saw what happened with Ember Moon. She got paired up with Kurt Hawkins following the injury to Braun Strowman and lost. Let's see if A and B, not B and B. Apollo and Bayley can get the job done against Mahalisha. But tonight we get to see Bayley and Alicia in action. A decent little match. Bayley had some big control, of course, near to her hometown, because TLC is in San Jose this Sunday. We're in San Diego tonight, so we're in the West Coast here. Bayley come up with big moves, big kicks. We had Sasha at ringside, and of course the Singh brothers and Jinder at ringside, who did distract Bayley for a bit and caused Alicia to capitalize. And then here comes Apollo Crews, the said new partner of Bayley. He came in like a house of fire, destroying the Singh brothers, and even Sasha got a mini on one of the Singh brothers, and then had Apollo toss her into the rest of the heels. And with that, Alicia got distracted by that melee on the outside, went into a belly to belly, and the 1-2-3 victory for Bayley. Does that mean Alicia's going to the finals, sadly? The two sucky teams who were like 0-4 in the regular season, one to stay in the playoffs, could be in the finals of TLC. The finals of the MMC at TLC. Mahalisha against the Fabulous Truth of All Truth and Carmella. Who are a fun team. Because you look at the semifinals. Well, it's not that predictable now. Because we thought, Bayley and Balor are going to lose. Because Balor has a match at TLC. He can't wrestle twice. But now that we got Apollo Crews replacing Bayley. And even what I said about Ember Moon losing with a new partner. I think Bayley could actually win with a new partner and get her on the card. And San Jose is a hometown. At TLC this Sunday. Come on, at least put on the damn card. At least it's less predictable now. But the SmackDown side is kind of predictable because you have Asuka and Miz taking on the Awesome Truth. I'm looking forward to that triple threat TLC match with Charlotte, Asuka, and Becky. That should be amazing. That should be amazing. SmackDown half of the card is going to beat up Walls for the most part. And they won't let Asuka wrestle twice, especially with her in a TLC match, for God's sakes. The first ever women's TLC match. So, it's going to be Mahalisha or B&B, one of those teams, against probably Awesome Truth for a 30th spot in the Royal Rumble and for a vacation. So it's MMC, I love it, but after this season with so many injury storylines and replacements, too many replacements, I said it a couple weeks ago, it's kind of like the second annual Dusty Rhodes Acting Classic that was plagued by injuries, people being taken out like Hideo and Austin Aries being taken out, and it wasn't as good as the first. Like, the second one was good, but it wasn't as good as the first, but with so many replacements. So, there's that. On with a backstage promo, thank God Dean Ambrose didn't have his Bane mask tonight. Talking about Seth Rollins tonight in a normal tone and didn't say about, you people make me sick. So I'm happy that promo didn't happen again tonight. So we'll see if he has any bearing on the main event. But we had Elias coming out to sing a song about all around the world. You know, good little song. But he's like, I can't stop thinking about how Bobby Lashley sucks. And he's in a match. Not against Bobby Lashley, against the Hype Man, Lio Rush, who has never wrestled. He hasn't wrestled on any show in a while. We haven't seen him wrestle on 205 Live in a while because of his commitments to Lashley. Let alone seen him wrestle on Raw. So it's kind of cool to see him on Raw. And I like Lio Rush as a wrestler. And get to show his little acrobatics. And need to mention the fact that we had Keith Slater as a referee in this match. Because he was forced to be a referee after Corbin put him in a match against Rhino last week with Slater beating Rhino, which, by the way, Rhino immediately retired off air. But he did say later on, I just found that even though he said he was retiring, he said he is not retiring, but he is leaving the company, and he'll be filling out his contractual obligations for the rest of this month at the rest of the house shows he's contracted for in the company. But, like I said, he won this match and was forced to be refereed by Corbin, saying, you're not going to wrestle, you're a referee now. So, he is a referee. A paid off one. After Leo got his flippy shit in, you know, looking like the superstar he is, Leo did eventually get tossed around by Elias, leading up to a sit-down powerbomb, and then Bobby Lashley came in, broke the count up, beat up on Elias. He didn't go for the belt. He was trying to go for it, but Bobby's like, no, you work for Corbin. I'm Corbin's friend. Don't disqualify me. So Lashley beat up on Elias some more. He grabbed Elias's guitar on the outside and gave Elias some poetic justice. Of course, we saw Elias nail Lio Rush with that guitar last week. Thus, this match was made. So, a little bit of karma as Lashley would crack the guitar upon the back of Elias and helping Lio Rush pick up the victory, with Slater forcing to do nothing. You know what I mean? Lashley's like, hey, I'm Corbin's friend. You work for Corbin. Obey Corbin. Hail Corbin. This is when the iron fist of Corbin showed a little bit in these two matches with the McIntyre beatdown of Ziggler and he being idly by to help McIntyre's other friend Lashley beat up on Elias. And he was not too happy about it. He was even ready to leave after that. But Corbin's like, hey, you work for me, buddy. You got to make that money. You've got kids. He's got kids. You got another match to referee tonight, which would end up being the main events. But now on to a segment that everyone dreaded since it was announced. This so-called press conference, this face-to-face with Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax to be moderated by Alexa Bliss. And we know how good these Q&A things with Alexa Bliss have been the last couple weeks. Shitty. So everyone's dreading another stupid panel. Another stupid fan Q&A. As Alexa Bliss was talking, or about to talk, should I say, Nia Jax jumped the queue and made her appearance with Tamina. And Nia Jax's promo tonight was better than 2 weeks ago. Oh, promo 2 weeks ago sucked balls. A little better than 2 weeks ago, but it kind of dragged a bit. Saying that, Ronda did this. Ronda's a former champion. But I'm going to break your face, honey, with this fist like I did to Becky Lynch. But it's not going to take me one punch to break your face like I did to Becky. I'm going to punch your face over and over and over again. But if that don't happen, and I'm trying to see you pulling that arm ball on me, I'm going to open up my fist, break your arm, and then break your face. So then, Rousey came out. She said, I'm not in the mood to talk and pose. I'm here to fight. She scurried out of the ring, and that was the end of that segment, thank God. So we didn't see any more talking, thank God. I think WWE learned, hey, everyone hates these fucking Q&A segments, but even if Bliss is so good on the microphone, guess what? We don't want another shitty-ass segment like This Is Your Life Bailey again. So they learned the lesson after 2 shitty Q&A with the fans. They learned the lesson. It didn't go on with it fully. But it did lead up to a match with Ember Moon, who came out to even up the odds to take on Tamina in a one-on-one match. Of course, we had a tag team match with these 4 last week. So we have Ember getting some heat back, trying to beat up on Tamina. Tamina coming with big, strong moves. And even with a distraction from Nia Jax, Wanda did beat her up a little bit, causing a stretching, with Ember Moon delivering the Eclipse at the end of the day in the 1-2-3 victory for Ember. So some momentum for Wanda through Ember. So there you go. Now on to our main event. The TLC match for the Intercontinental Championship. Baron Corbin challenging Seth Rollins with the aforementioned Heath Slater as your referee. This was a decent match. A good main event. Rollins did all the carrying here. Because sticking Baron Corbin in the main event is kind of a good and a bad thing. We saw what happened the last time he was in the main event. A shitty one with Finn Balor. But at least he's in a stipulation match against a good worker like Rollins. And there's some great spots in there. Of course, there had to be suplexes against the ladder. Of course, some various table spots. Including Rollins being thrown into a table on the outside a bit. Big moves there. Rollins did his big kicks and big dives as well. And then even there was a ref bump in this. It's a no DQ match. Yeah, we had a ref bump in this. So after the ref bump, which, by the way, happened when Rollins threw a chair at Slater and then some beatdown stuff, including deep six from Corbin. There was one spot, I need to mention it. Corbin was trying to climb the ladder at one point during the beginning of this match, and then Rollins did a springboard dive off the rope to get on the ladder. That was a cool spot there. But then, after the ref bump, like I said, a beatdown, including battling outside the ring again. When Rollins put Corbin on top of a table, he climbed to the top rope and did a massive frog splash through the table on Corbin. That was a great spot. He tried to get back in the ring, trying to get back the championship. I felt something was going to happen in this match. We're going to see interference from Ambrose, interference from maybe returning Bray Wyatt, maybe Braun Strowman comes out. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. Or interference from the somewhat crooked referee, Heath Slater, reluctant crooked referee, Heath Slater. And the answer was a reluctant heel referee, crooked heel referee, reluctant one, Heath Slater. He pushed Seth off the ladder, trying to drag Corbin back into the ring. A woozy Corbin from that table spot, trying to climb that ladder. We thought, dang it, they can't end Raw like this. Thankfully, Rollins got back up, took Corbin back down again, super kicked the hell out of Slater, delivered the stomp to Corbin, climbed back up the ladder, retrieved the belt, and even with no referee, the bell still rang anyway. So Rollins is still your Intercontinental Champion, heading towards his singles match for the belt, a regular match against Ambrose. Yes, I'm sad it's not a ladder match. This should have been Balor. Nobody. Balor. This should have been Rollins and Ambrose in TLC, not Rollins and Corbin. And If Coleman and Strowman eventually happens and it's become some cartoony ending, this makes up for a proper TLC match this Sunday on the Raw side if Strowman just wins on a limb or something, or there's a last minute change or something. But we did see Ambrose come out eventually. I am actually happy he didn't come out to interfere. I thought he was. But we had the Heath Slater involvement. That was a good story there with the reluctant heel referee of Heath. He wants to feed his family, but we'll see how that story pays out. For Heath, at least they're making him do something these days. But I'm happy we didn't see Ambrose get involved. Till the end, he came out the ramp. Ambrose eyed Rollins on top of that ladder, and that's how we end Raw tonight. Right at 11, because they can't go over anymore. So, there you go. An exciting Raw. Better than the last couple weeks for sure. Were there some good stuff? Yes. Bad stuff? Yes. But unlike the last couple weeks, the bad stuff didn't outweigh the good. There was a decent main event, a title change, kind of a surprise title change, but I'm expecting a rematch to happen this Sunday at TLC. I'm expecting AOP to dump Drake Maverick. This would be the great way to do it. So, there you go. Not better Raw tonight, especially after a shitty-ass Monday Night Football. Because with the defensive struggle, not an exciting one. Who'd have thunk it? The worst Monday Night Football in weeks gave us the best Raw in weeks. Intentional or not, it happened. So with that being said, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later. Ooh yeah! Dig it. See ya.